Hello, good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me okay? If you can, just give me a little note in the chat. Let's see. Good morning, good morning. Let's see, we got Colette from Salinas and Denise from New Jersey and Ted from Sweden, Ellie from the NYC, Wendy from the Isle of Wight, like that. Constance from Virginia. Hey, Andy. Oh, good. I'm glad you can hear me. Okay, cool. I never know if my little ear pods connect correctly. Andy from Iceland. Let's see. That must be a little cold, I'm imagining right now. Lisa from Los Angeles. Welcome. Okay, we'll get started in just a minute. So the topic of the meditation I want to do today is just letting go of resentment. Resentment can be, towards another person, institution, ourselves. Um, but resentment tends to, be like, if you're walking around with a backpack, and resentment is like adding a heavy rock to the backpack, and every time you pick up a resentment, you pick up a rock and you stick it in there, and it just tends to weigh us down. Um, so I am curious, for you today, just to kind of like think about what rocks of resentment you're carrying around in your backpack right now. Um, and if you might be willing to let some of those go. I still got people checking in, so we're gonna not get started right this second, but just wanted to put that out in your mind there. So resentment is not just a something that we carry around in our heads, but it's also something that we carry around in our bodies. Um, and I'm curious for you, where when you're feeling resentment, where do you typically feel it in your body? Um, and if you wouldn't mind, just maybe even just putting that in the chat, that'd be interesting for other people to see. Hi, Gwen. Good morning. I know for me, I tend to carry it um, in my shoulders and my back. That's where my resentment tends to reside. I remember reading a book one time. Yeah, Colette, you get it in your stomach. That this was a guy who specializes in back pain, and his theory is that a lot of our back pain is because we're holding on to anger and that it's manifesting physically there. I can't remember the guy's name, but he had a whole book about it that was pretty popular back, 10, 15 years ago. So yeah, feeling resentment in your stomach. Do you get the sense of feeling Dr. Sarno? There you go. Thanks, Gwen. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, so I think everybody is here. Um, so let's go ahead and get started. Um, so for the practice today, we're gonna just to kind of preview it for you here. We'll go, kind of through the body and investigate where resentment's being held in the body. Um, and then we'll do a practice where we consider letting go of resentment towards others, and by others, again, I'm talking about people or institutions. I had a friend of mine who had a big resentment towards the parking enforcement in Santa Monica, and so he would, anytime he got a parking ticket, he'd go, "I'd be so mad at them. I would show them I'm not going to pay them on time, so then they charge me double. That'll really show them, And so institutions we can have big resentments towards as well as people, and then also you know, resentments towards ourselves. That's a big one, and sometimes that's the hardest one for a lot of us to let go of. So we'll explore that and then end the meditation. Okay, so go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. That could be on a cushion or a chair, whatever it is that you like to meditate on. And I want to invite you to gently close your eyes. And if that's not comfortable, that's okay. You can place a soft gaze on the floor in front of you. And just take a moment to feel yourself sitting in this posture. Noticing the places where your body makes contact with the surface beneath you. Feeling how gravity is gently pulling you towards the earth, and how the earth is fully supporting you. And now opening your attention to include sounds in your environment. Listening to the sounds close by. And perhaps noticing even more distant sounds. Just enjoying the symphony of sounds in your environment. And now bringing your attention inward into the body. And without thinking too much or analyzing, just gently note what emotion or mood you're feeling. And the first thing that comes to mind is fine. You don't need to be perfect. And now moving your attention to the breath. And on your next few out breaths, just allow a gentle half smile to form at the mouth. It's not really a forced smile you might do for the camera, but just a gentle half smile. Call that the Buddha smile. And tuning into the sensations and openness that the smile generates. And collecting the attention and resting it on the inflow and outflow of the breath, of the nostrils, of the rising and falling of the chest or abdomen. And so wherever your breath is felt most easily, just rest it there. And stay with the breath in this way for just a minute. And if the mind wanders, that's totally fine. And just bring it back to the breath, the gentle in and out. And now we will explore the body, the sensations of the body, and just noticing if there's any places where tension's being held, and seeing if we might soften those areas. And so on your next out breath, just moving your attention to the sensations in the face. Exploring the forehead, and the muscles around the eyes. And if there's any tension there, just inviting it to soften a bit. There's no right or wrong sensations, they just are. And so we're not trying to get rid of the tension per se, but just inviting it to let go and soften a bit. It's less about forcing a change and more about inviting a change. And exploring the sensations in the jaw. And again, if you experience any clenching or tightening here, just inviting some softness if it's willing to come. And now moving the attention into the neck. And just noticing what's there. If there's any tightness, again, inviting that to soften and release at its own pace. Sometimes imagining creating space around the tension can help. Helps it feel less constricted. And on your next out breath, moving the attention into the hands. And seeing if you might soften the hands a little more. Moving the attention into the arms. And now into the shoulders. Again, if you're noticing any tightness here, just inviting it to soften and relax. Many of us hold tension in this area, the jaws, the jaw, the back, and the abdomen. And just being aware of this is a common place where we hold tension. And now moving the attention into the chest and the upper back. Just feeling the sensations here. Sometimes helps to breathe in, creating space, and breathing out, and releasing and relaxing. Breathe in, create space. Breathe out, soften and relax in this area. And then moving the attention into the abdomen and the lower back. Inviting a softening and relaxing. Breathing in and creating space. And breathing out, letting go. And softening. Now moving the attention into the hips and the pelvis. Becoming aware of the sensations here. Again, breathing in, creating space. Breathing out, letting go, and relaxing. And then moving the attention into legs. And noticing the length, and the volume of the legs. Inviting a softening here. And then moving the attention into the feet. And again, just noticing the sensations here. And if there's any tension, again, inviting it to soften and relax. And now opening the attention to the entire body. And just noticing what it feels like now. It might feel the same or different. Either way is okay. Just take a note right now. Now we'll shift to a practice where we will explore our resentments towards others and towards ourselves, and just seeing if we can invite a letting go of these resentments. I'm not going to let go of all of them today. That wouldn't be realistic. And the important thing to keep in mind is, particularly as we explore resentments, letting go or forgiving is not about condoning or even completely forgetting ways in which we might have hurt ourselves or others have hurt us. But it's just about creating a little more space to move on in a more peaceful and equanimous way in our lives. And so our mind naturally holds on to instances where we feel mistreated by others. Again, this might be a particular person or an institution. experiences where the person was entirely wrong, or perhaps we had a part in it as well. It may be something relatively small or traumatic. What I'm inviting you to work with today is not the traumatic experience, but more of just the smaller irritations, I guess, that tend to build up over time. And so if you can bring something like that to mind, whether it's someone who didn't return your email, or maybe it's somebody who cut you off in traffic, or something of that nature, or and to bring that to mind, bring that person to mind, bring that institution to mind. I'm just seeing them or the situation clearly, seeing if you might let go of the details of that particular situation. And even if it's an institution, recognizing that there are individuals that make up the institution. And so, seeing if you might send these messages to that person or this institution that's wronged you, and forgive you for not understanding. Forgive you for making mistakes. And forgive you for causing pain and suffering to me and others. And sending whatever message of forgiveness that you would like to send in your own words. Just sending that now. And just keeping in mind that you may not be ready to forgive and let go, and that's okay. This is more about the intention to let go, to forgive. So this is creating that intention. Perhaps reminding yourself you may need patience to get there, to that place where you're really ready to offer that forgiveness. And now shifting our attention to ourselves. And as I said, sometimes this is the hardest part, is to forgive ourselves. Just picture something that comes to mind that you judge yourself for. Maybe you feel regret, irritation, or sadness about it. Just notice how it feels, even just bringing it to mind. Seeing if you can hold yourself with a sense of compassion. And again, seeing if you might repeat those three phrases that I had mentioned earlier. And again, you're not trying to force it, but you are setting this intention to forgive yourself. I forgive myself for not understanding. I forgive myself for making mistakes. I forgive myself for causing pain and suffering to myself and others. We all feel this way. We all make mistakes. We all act in ways that cause pain to ourselves and others. And just knowing you're not alone in this. This is what it means to be human. And so forgiving yourself and forgiving others. And at the very least, setting that intention to drop those rocks of resentment so that you can move more freely in the world. Placing your hand over your heart or another sign of physical care towards yourself. And sending loving kindness for ourselves and others. May I, may you, may all beings everywhere be happy, and be safe, and be healthy, and live with peace. And now as we close the meditation, I'm just taking a moment to notice how you feel. Thanking yourself for being here today. Showing up for yourself like this is an act of self-care that benefits you and all those that you come in contact with. And so taking a few deep breaths now. Maybe wiggling the fingers and toes. Letting light creep into your eyelids if your eyes have been closed. And when you're ready, opening your eyes, becoming more aware of the room around you. Okay. Thank you all for being here today. Um, hope you got something out of that practice. I hope you heard me okay. Sounds like Peter, my sound was muffled. I hope other people didn't have that experience. Apologize about that. Just to remind you, we do accept Donna or donations. I posted the PayPal and the Venmo earlier in the chat. If you want to scroll back up there and take a look at that, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, we will see you here next week, same time, same place. And have a wonderful week, everyone. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.